Our internet browsing was supposed to be made safer with HTTPS. Learn how HTTPS is being corrupted and how it exposes us to a man-in-the-middle attack. Coming up. In HTTP or regular web browsing, all traffic is readable as plain text. HTTPS is an alternate method or protocol for web browsing. Note the S in there, HTTPS, which is like saying secure web browsing. HTTPS was originally created by Netscape in 1994 as a way to encrypt the internet traffic in regular web browsing, otherwise known as HTTP. This has gone through many changes, but the idea is still to have a secure web browsing session. You know you're on HTTPS or secure browsing because most browsers will put a lock sign next to the website address. In this video, I will explain why this method of encryption is flawed. At the end of this video, I will teach you how to know if you are being victimized by a man-in-the-middle that is breaking this encryption mechanism. And I'll give you a quick solution. The elaborate encryption mechanisms in HTTPS, called TLS, is based on a secret exchange of an encryption key made possible by the website showing its public certificate. Here's an example of a website and its public certificate. The encryption key is derived from this public website certificate. This certificate is very important here. Just understand that the basis of encryption keys, or the mathematics of the encryption, is based on this certificate. Suffice it to say, if you use HTTPS, which shows a lock sign on your browser, instead of HTTP, there should be no readable traffic to a third party. The encryption only shows that you're connected to a particular domain, like www.google.com, but not what you're doing there. The certificate itself is directly chained to certificate authorities. This means we don't self-create a certificate. We rely on a trusted third party to do the verification and creation of the final certificate. Back at the very beginning of the internet, there was only one certificate authority, or CA, VeriSign. This company was later purchased by Symantec. Symantec is no longer in the certificate authority business. Our entire internet system of trust is based on root certificate authorities like the VeriSigns and the Symantecs, and also the intermediate certificate authorities which are authorized by those root CAs. This is called a certificate chain. Herein lies the flaw in the system. If the root CA fails us by allowing the creation of fake certificates, then the whole system fails and the encryption we think we have doesn't exist. In order to break encryption, all one needs is the private key used to create the certificate. Or someone can create a spoofed certificate for a domain so they own their own version of the private key. This little trick is enabled in multiple ways. The root certificate company can fail us by allowing fake certificates to be issued. This is what happened to Symantec. Google discovered that their certificate for Google.com was being spoofed by certificates coming from Symantec. Google responded by blocking certificates from Symantec CA in 2018, after about a year of warning. So Symantec sold the CA business to DigiCert. Chinese certificate authorities are also known for faking certificates. This could mean that traffic to legitimate websites can be intercepted and read potentially by the Chinese government or other bad actors. So if the CA fails us, we are zucked. Another method is if the private keys to these websites are given to bad players or extracted from the website itself if their security is bad. This can be done by an insider. Another way is to trick you to manually install a root CA certificate on your computer. If someone installs a fake root CA certificate on your computer, the trust chain will now be based on that fake CA. You are now in essence exposed, and your browsing traffic is now visible to the party with a private key to that root certificate. This commonly used trick is used by employers, large ones, to read HTTPS traffic on the employer's network. Understand that you cannot have any expectations of privacy while you're on your employer's network, since they control the computers that you use. They can easily install a fake root certificate on your computer so they can read your traffic. So don't do banking or social media on your employer's computer. Also, as I explained in my other videos, antivirus makers habitually install a fake root certificate on your device with the justification that they need to read the HTTPS encrypted traffic. Supposedly, it's so they can prevent phishing attacks. Understand what a fake root certificate means. It means that whoever has the private key to that can read your browsing traffic to secure sites. They can see your usernames and passwords. They can see your bank balances. They can see your private messages with encrypted apps. They see what you want to buy from Amazon. They can watch you in real time. So HTTPS then becomes a fake promise. When someone is watching what you do, or can potentially watch what you do on a browser while on HTTPS, you are the victim of a man-in-the-middle or MITM attack. Mind you, if you're not on HTTPS, in other words, you're on HTTP, then you're completely exposed anyway to a man-in-the-middle. But that's your fault. So that's not what we're focused on. We're focused on a man-in-the-middle attack that we are not expecting because we are doing secure browsing. Google and many tech companies are pushing for HTTPS everywhere. If more people are on HTTPS, then the premise is that the internet is more secure and safe. However, with the ability of third parties to inject fake root certificates, then this safety is flawed. Fortunately, there is a way to verify if you're seeing a fake certificate and if your traffic is not secure. If you're on an antivirus, turn off any features that do any kind of web scanning, since that installs a fake root certificate. For example, on AVG, it's called Web Shield. Turn that sucker off. Watch this example. I will show you the original certificate on this website, brax.me. Now look at the certificate once AVG is installed. You can see that the certificate has been modified. I have an Android app which you can download from Google Play that can test to see if your Android has a man-in-the-middle on your network. This is helpful if you're in a public Wi-Fi where an MITM attack is likely to occur. The app is called Catch MITM and it's free. On iOS, the Brax.me app has a utility in the settings menu to check for an MITM. On a computer, checking for a man-in-the-middle is a two-step process. You need to examine the root certificate. I will show you an example here. I'm going again to the website Brax.me. Using the log icon in Chrome, examine the certificate details and then look for the thumbprint. On some browsers, that label called thumbprint could be called an SHA or SHA-2 or SHA-256 hash. Now use another computer or another network or both and repeat this process. If the two match, then you're not likely to have a man-in-the-middle. If the values are different, then one of these computers have an MITM. This is expected on a corporate network. I wouldn't be surprised there. But there would be a surprise if this happens in a public network or your home. Just so you're prepared, you can store the values of the certificate thumbprints or hashes of common websites you visit so you can always compare when you are concerned about it. But note the expiration dates of the certificates. Certificates do expire, so the thumbprints will frequently change. I don't want to cause a panic here. This is not likely a common problem for home networks, but it is definitely a problem in public networks or corporate networks or hotel networks. Often, even your awareness that your activities inside someone else's network could be viewed is good enough. Solution? Use a VPN. Since a VPN is another layer of encryption, it cancels out a man-in-the-middle or MITM attack. I know I sound like a broken record because I keep harping on this VPN issue, but we can't function on the internet without a VPN anymore, or a Tor router. It's nice to know that a VPN offers a quick solution and you don't have to worry about this issue again. Look in the video description for links to the mobile apps and other resources I mentioned here. Also, take a look at Bytes VPN.